Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm gonna do a complimentary quad reaction, man. This complimentary quad is featuring the music of Jackson Browne. Jackson Browne, man, I know that Jackson Browne had a really good run in the 80s, time that I was kind of growing up. So I know of Jackson Browne. And I kind of parallel him a little bit with Eddie Money. I know of them. I knew that Jackson had a great run in the 80s, but also recently became aware that he had an even more successful run in the 70s. And so I'm really looking forward to this, man. Just by looking at the songs, I know the songs. Doctor My Eyes, Running on Empty, Somebody's Baby, I know that one for sure, and The Pretender. So those are the songs that we're going to do in that order, man. So before I pop this off, I just want to give a shout out and a thanks very much to Charles Hogue. Charles, thank you, man. I appreciate you sending me links for Jackson Browne and the recommendation. My intention was to do Jackson Browne for over a year. So finally, here we are doing Jackson Browne, man. It's first time. So let's check this out, man. Starting with Doctor My Eyes. It's cool making that connection. You know the songs, and then you connect the artist to the songs, realizing that you'd known the songs all along, and now it's just basically matching it up with the artist. It's that's a really cool eureka moment that I like. All right, man. Jackson Browne, Doctor My Eyes. Let's get it.
Doctor, my eyes have seen the years and the slow parade of fears without crying. Now I want to understand. I have done all that I could to see the evil and the good without hiding. You must help me if you can. Doctor, my eyes. Tell me what is wrong. Was I unwise to leave them open for so long? 'Cause I have wandered through this world, and as each moment has unfurled, I've been waiting to awaken from these dreams. People go just where they will. I never noticed them until I got this feeling that it's later than it seems. Doctor, my eyes, tell me what you see. I hear their cries. Just say if it's too late for me.
He's worn out. He's weary and tiresome. Life has kicked the shit out of him.
Doctor, my eyes, they cannot see the sky. Is this the price for having learned how not to cry?
So now he feels that he's gone too far with being restrained because now he doesn't feel anything. Lost. Okay. Doctor My Eyes. You know how you, I should say it's a personal testimony. You know, I hear songs in passing over so many years. And then I sit down and I do a reaction, and of course it's a familiar thing going on, but you're listening to the song now for the first time, you know, and this is the experience of me sitting here listening, really like listening to this song now for the first time, listening to what he's saying, listening to what he's feeling, how things go. You know, it isn't just something in passing now where I'm distracted or, you know, it's a familiar jingle and, you know, I can hum along with it, but not really listen to the words. When I sit down and I do these reactions, even though the song is familiar and known to me, I'm really listening to them now for the first time. No interruptions, no distractions, nothing else but just listening to the music and listening to the song and the meaning behind it. Yeah, that's very, very heavy. Could you imagine being this person who is just worn out from life, and then he tries to put himself with the help of a doctor in a safe place, but then only to find that now he might have gone too far with it because he doesn't feel anything at all about anything. Wow, man. You talk about desolation, you talk about being lost. Yeah, good tune, but sad in a way, because there's no finality. You got to think of it yourself. You got to kind of think of where this dude will end up. What a song. Jackson Browne. I've always liked Jackson Browne. I like him simply for the feeling I get when I'm listening to his songs. It's a very introspective kind of feel, and he is what I call a really good singer. He's just a very nothing too over the top or anything like that. He's not going to wow you and blow your head off like a Robert Plant singing Dazed and Confused, but he is a really good singer, and he delivers his verbiage very, very well, and you can connect to him. You know, very, very relatable. You can connect to his singing, and you get where he's coming from. That's what I get from listening to him sing. I don't know. Let me know if you feel the same way. Yeah, but just for that reason alone, I've always liked him. He's somebody, when you say his name, I think, yeah, you know, I like this guy. Why do I like this guy? Oh yeah, I like this guy because of the manner and how he sings, you know? So man, hey, you can tell that I'm definitely stoked about doing a Jackson Browne reaction. I'm not stoked about this damn page taking so long to open. Okay, yeah, you see what I do here sometimes is like I'm opening up too many pages at once, and now they're just kind of circulating. I wish I had a joke to tell you, but I laugh at jokes, I don't tell them. Okay, yeah, there we go. So what I'm going to do first here is I'm going to just read a little intro to the man himself, and then focus on the song. So yeah, I'll just read the top part of his bio. So Clyde Jackson Browne, born October 9th, 1948, is an American singer-songwriter and musician who has sold over 18 million albums in the US. Coming to prominence in the 1970s, Browne has written and recorded songs such as These Days, The Pretender, Running on Empty, Lawyers in Love, Doctor My Eyes, Take It Easy, For a Rocker, and Somebody's Baby. In 2004, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio, and given an honorary doctorate of music by Occidental College in LA, California. In 2015, Rolling Stone ranked him 37th in its list of the 100 greatest songwriters of all time. Damn. You gotta be the shit to make it onto that list, let me tell you. 38th. Isn't the Fleetwood Mac trio number 38? That's Buckingham Nicks and Christine McVie. I think I remember that from last year when I was reading their bio when they were Artist of the Month. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so Dr. My Eyes. Dr. My Eyes is a 1972 song written and performed by Jackson Browne and included on his debut album Jackson Browne, featuring a combination of an upbeat piano riff coupled with lyrics about feeling world-weary. The song was a surprise hit, reaching number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 in spring of '72, after debuting on the chart at number 80. Billboard ranked Dr. My Eyes as the number 92nd song for 1972. In Canada, the song peaked at number 4. Dr. My Eyes became a concert mainstay for Browne and was included on both his later compilation albums. A live version can be found on the '96 Australia CD released Best of Live, a double set with Looking East, and the 1997 Japan 2 CD release of Best of Live, coupled with the next voice you hear, the Best of Jackson Browne. Jesse Ed Davis played the electric guitar, while David Crosby and Graham Nash sang backing vocals, and Russ Kunkel played drums. Hey, I got a question for you, man. Speaking of Crosby and Nash, where did I read it? Did I hear about it? They are not on speaking terms. Have they mended fences? I guess this has been many years. What's up with Crosby and Graham Nash? Did a breakdown happen? Was there a Patty Boyd effect going on? Was there a woman in between that caused that breakdown? Let me know what happened between David Crosby and Graham Nash, and have they mended fences? I mean, these lads are in their late 70s, so they can't be fooling around, man. While you're still on this plane, you got to take care of that shit. Sorry, man, I lost my damn way. Where was I? Okay, history. William Ruhlman on allmusic.com elaborated on the development of the song. Quote, Browne's first recorded a demo of Dr. My Eyes for the Criteria Music Publishing Company in early '71, and despite its striking imagery and carefully crafted writing, it was a bleak song. By the time he came to record the song for his first album in the summer of '71, however, Browne had revised the lyric, tossing out the most pessimistic lines. Now, Dr. My Eyes was the statement of a man who had stoically endured life's hardships, but having done so, now worried that he had been rendered unable to feel anything. Yeah, let me read that part again. Now, Dr. My Eyes was the statement of a man who had stoically endured life's hardships, but having done so, now worried that he had been rendered unable to feel anything. Right? Yeah, that song is very, very simple to understand. It still wasn't an optimistic song though, but the unhappy ending had been rendered ambiguous. Yeah, you're wondering what happened to him next. You can fill in your own story. Working with other musicians, Browne drastically altered the sound of the song on record. A lively 4/4 beat played on drums and congas and supported by piano set up a catchy underlying riff before the lyrics even began. Browne's singing was supported by Graham Nash and David Crosby's harmonies, giving the lyrics an emotional edge. On the whole, the arrangement and performance worked against the still desperate message contained in the words. There was originally a third verse to the song, but it was not retained when Browne recorded the song for his debut album. The lost verse, however, can be found on circulating bootlegs of the song's original demo. Okay. In part 1 of the 2013 documentary History of the Eagles, J.D. Souther and Glenn Frey discuss at some length the process of Browne's work methods, while Browne was working on the song over a period of some months. The three lived in adjacent down-market apartments. Fry would hear Browne through the walls at work on his piano every morning. It's cool how these great music legends overlapped each other, complemented each other. I like that. Reception. Jeff Walker, in his review of Browne's debut album for Phonograph Record magazine in '72, wrote that Dr. My Eyes is one of a number of tracks on the album that deal with a spiritual search. No preaching, no conclusions, just searching. Ruhlman on AllMusic called it a rollicking pop rock song about being almost terminally burnt out. Yeah, very, very straightforward, very plain to understand, and relatable. You kind of feel where he's at. You feel his sense of loss. Great song. All right, man. Let's bounce to our next track, and another great song that I know, Running on Empty. Some call it the Forrest Gump song. All right, Jackson Browne, Running on Empty. Let's get it. The lady next to him there. That's familiar.
Everyone I know, everywhere I go, people need some reason to believe. I don't know about anyone but me. If it takes all night, that'll be alright. Look around for the friends that I used to
right. Another classic song. Another example of a song that I've always known, always heard, always liked. Just didn't make the connection of who it was. And then you think to yourself, oh my gosh, so he sang this stuff in the 70s. He had an even more impressive career run in the 70s than in the 80s, you know. So, you know, I'm visualizing Jackson Browne jamming with Clarence Carter, You're a Friend of Mine. I think that was in 84. And then in 86, he did Lawyers in Love, and that cheesy ass video that he did for it, you know, where he was kind of singing at the moon. And so you think to yourself, oh man, that's the same guy that actually did these really awesome classic songs of the 70s, you know. So that eureka moment is really cool for me when I put that together. I mentioned Eddie Money, it's the same thing. I knew all of the Eddie Money stuff in the 80s, and you know, it was cool, it was all right. And then I learned that he did 2 Tickets to Paradise, Baby Hold On. Damn, man. Brother had a fantastic career in the 70s. Didn't know that he'd been around that long. Same thing for me with Jackson Browne. Didn't know he'd been around that long. He didn't look that old, you know. Even when I was growing up in the 80s, you know, I said that, oh, maybe this guy's in his 20s. But no, back then he would have been in his 30s, entering his 40s, man. Oh no, in his 30s. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do here, man, is gonna do a quick read on Running on Empty. Okay, well, not a very quick read. There's a lot of info on it. Okay, well, we'll bounce around a little bit. So, Running on Empty. Running on Empty is a song written and performed by American singer-songwriter Jackson Browne. It's the title track to his 1977 live album of the same name, recorded at a concert at Merriweather Post Pavilion in Columbia, Maryland on August 27, 1977. A number 11 hit on the US Billboard Hot 100 when it was released as a single, it spent 17 weeks on the chart after debuting on February 11th of 78 at position 72. Rolling Stone ranked it at number 496 on its list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. And it is one of Browne's signature songs. Running on Empty was most popular in Canada, where it spent 2 weeks at number 4. Let's go to history. Browne wrote the song while driving to the studio each day to make The Pretender. According to the Rolling Stone magazine, quote, "I was always driving around with no gas in the car." Browne is quoted, "I just never bothered to fill up the tank because how far was it anyway? Just a few blocks," unquote. Rolling Stone writer Paul Nelson saw Running on Empty as embodying a tenacious win-lose duality and being what daydreamers have nightmares about. Let me read that again, sorry. Rolling Stone writer Paul Nelson saw Running on Empty as embodying a tenacious win-lose duality and being what daydreamers have nightmares about. Okay. With its number 11 peak on the Hot 100 in spring 78, Running on Empty was Browne's third biggest hit single in his career, trailing only Doctor My Eyes and Somebody's Baby, and subsequently became his most played song on classic rock radio formats. Yo, man. Yeah, let's read this part. I'm seeing a couple of references here to some... Okay, yeah. Let's read this part. Later uses. This song appeared in the 1994 film Forrest Gump, featured in the scene where Forrest was running across the U.S. In August 2008, Browne sued presumptive Republican presidential nominee John McCain, the Ohio Republican Party, and the Republican National Committee for unauthorized use of Running on Empty in a television commercial mocking presumptive Democratic nominee Barack Obama's energy policy. The case was settled out of court for an undisclosed sum in July 2009, with the McCain campaign, the Ohio Republican Party, and the Republican National Committee issuing a joint apology for using the song. Browne said, "I'm really happy that we got this statement from them. It's great to have it affirmed that these copyright and usage laws stand. I've had an idea of how my songs are protected and how money is collected and how making a living as a musician works for my whole career. And it's great to have it affirmed and to know that we're absolutely right in standing up to them." Unquote. Okay. So this was in 94? Yeah, okay. No, sorry, in 2008. Okay. I hadn't heard about that. I heard about Aerosmith's song Back in the Saddle Again being used in very much the same way. And, same result here. They threatened to take him to court, and of course they desist immediately. But I didn't hear about this. Various concert clips of Running on Empty from during and after 1977 are known to exist, though none from the concert where the original audio was taken, and no formal music video was released. In June 2019, Browne's official YouTube channel posted a montage of Joel Bernstein photos from the 1977 Jackson Browne Running on Empty tour in a video created by Andrew Thomas. Okay. Everyone's got a YouTube channel these days, man. Alright. So, that is Wikipedia Song Fact Info on Running on Empty. Oh, fantastic song, man. Let's bounce to our third track, man. And that being Somebody's Baby. Jackson Browne, Somebody's Baby. Let's get it. I've always liked the organ in this song.
Well, just look at that girl with the lights coming up in her eyes. She's got to be somebody's baby. She must be somebody's baby. All the guys on the corner stand back and let her walk on by. She's got to be somebody's baby. She must be somebody's baby. She's got to be somebody's baby. 'Cause she's so fine. She's probably somebody's only light gonna shine tonight. Yeah, she's probably somebody's baby, alright. I heard her talking with her friend when she thought nobody else was around. She said she's got to be somebody's baby. She must be somebody's baby. 'Cause when the cars and the signs and the street lights light up the town, she's got to be somebody's baby. She must be somebody's
Fast
baby.
Times at Ridgemont High.
She's got to be somebody's baby. She's so. She's gonna be somebody's only light, gonna shine tonight. Yeah, she's gonna be somebody's baby tonight. I try to shut my eyes, but I can't get her out of my sight. I know I'm gonna know
thinking of all kinds of things. Nostalgic rub, boy, I tell you. All right. Somebody's Baby. And it was taking me forever to try and remember what movie soundtrack it was off of. Yeah, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. How could I forget that? Yo, man, it's great. The nostalgic rub that music will give you, you know? You think about things, you think about where you were, what you were doing, the fashions you were, the girls that you were trying to woo, all of that sort of thing, you know, thinking about all of these things. Really cool. Music will do that. This song certainly does that. So, let us do a read on Somebody's Baby. Is this his biggest hit? I don't know. I think Dr. My Eyes was. I just read that on Running on Empty. I think Dr. My Eyes was. All right, Somebody's Baby. Somebody's Baby is a song written by Jackson Browne and Danny Kortchmar and recorded by Browne for the 1982 Fast Times at Ridgemont High movie soundtrack, reaching number 7 on the US Billboard Hot 100 after debuting at number 73 on July 31st, 1982. The track would be Browne's highest charting single of his career, spending a total of 19 weeks on the chart. Okay, I'm wrong. This one was. The song reached number 14 on the Billboard Adult Contemporary chart. As well, in Canada, Somebody's Baby peaked at number 16. The single was also released in Italy, Spain, and Japan. This song's about a guy who's infatuated with a girl and convinces himself that she must have a boyfriend. As he tries to work up the courage to talk to her, he keeps losing confidence by reminding himself that she's too fine not to be taken. Jackson Browne wrote this song with Danny Kortchmar, who played guitar on his Running on Empty and Lives in the Balance albums. Kortchmar had the music and the Must Be Somebody's Baby hook. He knew Browne could do something special with the song, so he brought what he had to Jackson, who helped Kortchmar complete it. That's what I brought to him. Okay, this is Kortchmar speaking. That's what I brought to him. All the guitar parts and everything else. In a 2013 interview, Kortchmar explained, quote, "It was not typical of what Jackson writes at all, that song, but because it was for this movie, he changed his general approach and came up with this fantastic song. It's a brilliant lyric. I think it's absolutely wonderful, but it's atypical of him. He wasn't sure what to make of it himself. He didn't want to put it on his album that he was making because it was atypical of what he did, but it ended up being something that got requested a lot, and he ended up playing it live and taking it to his heart, as it were. And now he plays it all the time." Unquote. Browne has called this an unabashed pop song. Most musicians would want their most popular songs on their albums, but Browne was okay having it on the Fast Times at Ridgemont High soundtrack, despite the advice of his former label boss, David Geffen, who told him he was nuts for giving it up. It has since been released on several of Browne's greatest hits albums, including The Next Voice You Hear, The Best of Jackson Browne, and The Very Best of Jackson Browne. An unplugged acoustic version appears on Browne's album entitled Solo Acoustic Volume 2, released in 2008. Okay, man. So that is Wikipedia Song Fact Info on Somebody's Baby. Great tune, man. A nostalgic rub. All right, so let's bounce to our final track, man. And that being The Pretender. All right, Jackson Browne, The Pretender. Let's get it.
I'm gonna rid myself myself a house in the shade of the freeway. Gonna pack my lunch in the morning and go to work each day. And when the evening rolls around, I'll go on home and lay my body down. And when the morning light comes streaming in, I'll get up and do it again. Amen. Say it again. Amen. I wanna know what became of the changes we waited for love to bring. Were they only the fitful dreams of some greater awakening? I've been aware of the time going by. They say in the end it's the wink of an eye. And when the morning light comes streaming in, you'll get up and do it again. Amen. Caught between the longing for love and the struggle for the legal tender, where the sirens sing and the church bells ring and the junk man pounds his fender, where the veterans dream of the fight, fast asleep at the traffic light, and the children solemnly wait for the ice cream vendor. Out into the cool of the evening strolls the pretender. He knows that all his hopes and dreams begin and end there. The lovers that stay run through the night, leaving nothing but to choose off and fight, and tear at the world with all their might, while the ships bearing their dreams sail out of sight. I'm gonna find myself a girl who can show me what laughter means, and we'll fill in the missing colors in each other's paint by number dreams. And then we'll put our dark glasses on and we'll make love until our strength is gone. And when the morning light comes streaming in, we'll get up and do it again. Get it up again. I'm gonna be a happy idiot and struggle for the legal tender, where the elves take aim and lay their claim to the heart and the soul of the spender, and believe in whatever may lie in those things that money can buy. Oh, true love could have been a contender. Are you there? Say a prayer for the pretender who started out so young and strong, only to surrender. Say a prayer for the pretender. Are you there for the pretender? Say a prayer for the pretender.
All right. So that's The Pretender.